Don't be deceived. Ipob is behind the killing and spilling of blood and beheading of innocent Igbos in the southeast, not the bandits. Mefor tell elders. Abomination Allah remains an abomination. Shedding the blood and the beheading of Biafrans, and more importantly, Igbo Biafrans on Biafran soil, remains act of sacrilege and crime against humanity. Ipob, led by Nnamdi Kanu and their associated many and varied pseudonyms and decoys, have now assumed the commanding height of the competing status as undisputed contenders, with Boko people, Fulani herdsmen and bandits struggling to outdo each other in the spilling of the blood and the beheading of innocent people they perceive as enemies. But get this straight. The Fulani-controlled government of Nigeria cannot be sponsoring bandits and the killer Fulani herdsmen to be killing Biafrans and other vulnerable populations, while Ipob, that recently claimed to be protecting our people, turn around to be beheading the same people they claim to be protecting. We warned that this day will come, and it is. Unfortunately, here eventually, the disappointing silence of the governors, that of the other members of the political class, the elders of thought, and the religious leaders in this face criminality leaves much to be desired. And this inaction to secure lives and property has consequently been responsible to a large extent for this destruction and desecration of our land. Now, go to the high heaven or hell and come back and advance all manner of ridiculous excuses. The people currently beheading our people in Igbo land are not outsiders. They are the people inspired by Nnamdi Kanu's recklessness and the ill advice from the bumbling, sycophantic DOS members who are fighting themselves today. Our power and money, other collaborators of Nnamdi Kanu, and by extension, the negative self-destructive ghost town mantra inspiration from Ambazonian. You must not be under any illusion. Ipob is now under the control and influence of a faction of the Ambazonian militants. The borrowed Ambazonian ghost town mantra is a failed, disastrous, and self-destructive violence campaign in Ambazonian sold to Nnamdi Kanu and Ipob, and which comes with extrajudicial murder of those who disagree with them and whom they perceived as enemies, and subsequently falsely labeled saboteur to justify their heinous crimes. Mefor is a noisy felony. Very, very noisy felony. I know him very well. Look at, he's just full of grammar. He's a grammarian. He said, no wonder he was dismissed from Ipob. So all the while, he has just been deceiving Ipob with lots of grammars. My dear viewers, you can now hear from the dismissed Ipob member Mefor. You see, Mefor is saying all of these things because of the rift he once had with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I know that it will be among those jubilating and rejoicing over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's arrest. Oh, see, Mefor issues to not be something that should be bothering anyone, because Mefor himself is a disappointment and a complete disgrace to the masses. A complete one at that, I'm telling you. A very big disgrace. You see, Mefor is not someone that one should just put hope on or listen to. I am not surprised that this is coming out from him. You can imagine. For you to know how saboteured and how deceitful Mefor is. This is an Ipob member that has been preaching against the Fulani herdsmen when he was in Ipob. But now, that he is no longer in Ipob because he has been dismissed. He's now saying now that Ipob is just disguising themselves to be the bandits going about killing their own Easterners. How possible it is that Ipob and Eastern and the people agitating for the freedom of the Biafran freedom I will now be the one killing their own brothers, their own people, the people they are agitating for their freedom. Is it possible? Is it not because of the killings in the southeast that made Nnamdi Kanu to come up with the Eastern Security Network? Is it not? So what is Uche Mefor now talking about? What noise is he now making? You see that this guy is a backstabber. He's a fucking backstabber. And no wonder the prophecy came that Nnamdi Kanu must be very careful. He must be very careful. And now I can see it. I can see the reality. I can see it. It is clear. Nnamdi Kanu really need to be careful. Because people of this kind are, oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God. I never believed that this would be coming from such a person like Uche Mefor. It's quite disappointing. Quite disappointing and disgraceful. And disgraceful. You understand? Yes. You go and check it. You understand what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm talking about? Uche Mefor, you are a failure for this that you have just done. It shows that you really have the you really have the Ipob in your heart all the while to disappoint. But look at, as you are trying to disappoint them, you are disappointing yourself. Don't think that criticizing the Ipob is going to bring you any credit or is going to make the world to believe you. See how you're just fooling yourself around. You're fooling yourself around and it doesn't pay. You have made yourself a Fulani stooge. You have made yourself a tool for the federal government to make use of and dump. You have been dumped. You have been dumped as far as I'm concerned, and it's wrong. You see? See how you just messed yourself up. You see that? My dear viewers. Alright. Uche Mefor is just like that. Let me hear from you, please. Let me know what you have to say concerning this that Uche Mefor has just vomited. Let me know what you have to say. Okay, so please deem it fit to at least say what you feel like is the right thing, because Uche Mefor, to me, he has just what he did is to slam Nnamdi Kanu and not to say the reality. Is only speaking because he's no longer a part of the Ipob because he has now been dismissed. You understand? And that is just the humble truth. All right, my viewers in the house, I value and I appreciate your comments and mails that you have been sending to us. We are very much grateful. Okay, so if you're new on this very channel, don't forget to come in, at least leave your comment. If you're new, click on the red subscribe buttons as well as the bell buttons to get updated each time we upload any new videos. Thank you.